Once upon a time, in a peaceful green forest, lived a little ant who worked harder than anyone else. She always carried food back to her home before the rain came. But slowly, a strange feeling began to grow inside her heart. Every time she saw the peacock spreading his dazzling feathers, she thought, "Everyone admires him for his beauty. Why doesn't anyone ever notice me?" When she saw the butterfly fluttering gracefully, she sighed, "If only I had wings like her. Why must I always crawl on the ground?" Even the squirrel made her envious, jumping from one branch to another so easily. Little by little, her joy faded. The ant who once led her colony with energy now moved slowly, lost in her thoughts. Her friends noticed and asked, "Why are you always sad these days?" But she only smiled faintly and said nothing. Then, one evening, dark clouds gathered. Thunder roared, and rain began to pour like never before. The forest trembled under the storm's fury. The butterfly's delicate wings became soaked and heavy, she could no longer fly. The squirrel's tree fell to the ground, leaving her cold and afraid. The peacock's feathers were drenched and dull. He couldn't dance anymore. The whole forest was in chaos, but beneath the earth, the ants were safe. Their tunnels, built with patience and teamwork, kept them warm and dry. The little ant looked around and felt something stir deep inside. "All this time I wasted my days wishing to be like others," she whispered. "But now they're the ones who need help. Maybe I can do something." With determination in her tiny heart, she called out to her friends, "Come on, everyone. Let's help them. Together we can make a difference." And so they did. Some ants gently carried the butterfly to a dry spot under the leaves. Others gathered branches to make a bed for the shivering squirrel. A few cleaned the mud from the peacock, as feathers, until he lifted his head proudly once more. The forest watched in awe. How could such small creatures have such big hearts? When the storm finally passed, the butterfly, the squirrel, and the peacock came to thank the little ant. The peacock said softly, "I have seen many kinds of beauty, but none as bright as yours." The squirrel added, "Today I learned that real strength isn't in jumping high, it's in lifting others." And the butterfly smiled and said, "You may not have wings, but your kindness helped us soar again." For the first time, the little ant felt truly proud. She realized she didn't need feathers, wings, or speed to be special. She just needed her heart. From that day on, she stopped comparing herself with others. She understood that every creature has its own purpose, and that greatness isn't about size or appearance, but about how we use what we have to help the world around us. Remember, envy blinds us to our own gifts. True greatness isn't found in beauty or strength, but in kindness and the will to make a difference. Even the smallest heart can shine the brightest.